Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Gaming Nights of the Roundtable. The next topic of discussion is going to be storylines. Just to kind of fill you in, my name's Alan, I'm from the website The Gaming Rig, found at www.thegamingrig.co.uk. Every 2 weeks, every fortnight more or less, we meet up, the team and some fans, and we just discuss gaming. Pretty relaxed, people drop in, drop out as they please. If you ever want to come along, just simply email us at thegamingrig@gmail.com or just come along to the website www.thegamingrig.co.uk and get in touch with us and we'll go from there. So quickly to make a start then, just want to introduce everybody. I say my name's Alan, I'm kind of the owner of the site and it's kind of just a blogging review site really for now, but we have big plans to kind of develop and do a lot more. So if you are joining us or you are a fellow fan, thanks for being with us. And if you are joining us, welcome aboard. We do competitions as well every month. So far, we've given away headsets, games, various other things. So do come along to the Facebook and Twitter pages if you're interested in sort of gaming and you'd like to win a few goodies, really. Okay, so just to make a start then. Going around the table, we'll start off with the first member. We have James Simpkin of the site. Just introduce yourself and just tell us really what sort of game you're playing this week.
All right, well, I'm Jim. I'm one of the freeloading reviewers for the site. It's a good site. I enjoy it. It gives me a chance to vomit my grey matter at people without actually getting the police involved. And yeah, this week I've just been spamming a fair bit of Monster Hunter U for the DS and Mountain Blade Warband for, well, Windows.
Yeah, and how are you finding both of them?
Well, as is always with the Monster Hunter games, it's a love-hate relationship where it's kind of a sadomasochistic obsession where I will play it hours and hours on end and I will hate myself for each minute I play it. Kind of like WoW, right? Whereas Mountain Blade Warband, I have to say, I don't know how this bastard snuck up underneath me, but I love this fucker. Right? It allows me to be egotistic by thinking I'm great all the time when I actually feel like I'm achieving something in it. Because as far as it goes, it tells you from the beginning, you're shit.
Fair enough.
That. Good game.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And moving on then, so we have William, a fan from the site. As I say, we do this every 2 weeks, but we do allow all our fans to come in as well. So as I said at the beginning, please get in touch if you'd like to be a part of this. So William, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm William, and I'm from Northern Ireland. Currently I'm playing Injustice, Gods Among Us, which I think the storyline's a bit too short, but apart from that, I'm enjoying it because it's made by NetherRealm, which is Mortal Kombat creators. And basically, I also play League of Legends a lot. At the minute, I'm struggling to get my rank higher.
That's cool. That's cool. How are you finding both those games? You enjoying them?
Injustice, the fighting system's good. The combo system's a lot harder in Mortal Kombat, but the super moves look well and they do high damage, so it's a plus,
What do you feel about them taking sort of the aspect of obviously the DC universe and then moving it on to the engine of Mortal Kombat? Did it work?
I'd say it's a positive from NetherRealm to actually do that in a good way rather than releasing Mortal Kombat versus DCU, which was, in my opinion, it was a huge failure because of the lack of violence for a Mortal Kombat game.
Was pretty bad. I was pretty bad. But you got to give it to them. They were still willing to try things out. I mean, most people would just regurgitate Assassin's Creed every year. So, originality to it. So
yeah, they could have seen Mortal Kombat versus DCU as a huge failure and decided never to use DC, team up with them again. But I'm glad they did, and it's turned out positive on Injustice.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be checking that one out as well then. So just a personal thank you though. I do obviously pay attention to the site and things as well as most of the members. So I do know you're quite active on the site. So do you enjoy being a part of that? Being part of the community?
I enjoy being part of the Facebook discussions, and I feel that the team's doing a good job on the Gaming Rig, and they're bringing me positive feedback and reviews for games I want to play. So I can take that and I can say, yeah, they've reviewed it, they've made it look better. And I've made my choice up maybe to try the game out instead of maybe, just passing on it.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot for sticking through. So it's going to be a fun night, I think. So we'll move down the table then. We have Mr. Ryan. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Ryan. Recently been a lot more active on TGR, mostly as a content producer for things such as videos and this very podcast, which I thoroughly enjoy. Currently, I'm playing Doom 3 BFG Edition because I just love Doom. I always have loved Doom. And Battle Block Theatre, which came out for Xbox Live Arcade and is just brilliant. If you've got a friend by your side on the sofa and you've got like some snacks and a good night to spare, you can spend hours just playing Battle Block Theatre. It's brilliant.
So what sort of game is that then?
It's kind of like it's a very basic platform game, and like all the levels are constructed out of like little Lego blocks, and each of them do different things. So you've got like sticky blocks that your character can stick to, or like hot blocks, like hot coals that will like propel your character up high. But it comes like with an entire level editor, and most of the levels on the game were made like by the community, like the best ones picked out and put into the game. So you've essentially got, because people are uploading new ones all the time, you can make all your own levels, and you've essentially got an endless stream of levels to be playing every week as well. So there's just that much content in it that you can sit with a mate and play it for hours and hours and hours on end and never get bored. So
just very much what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the best games are like that, and Battle Block Theatre just exemplifies that for me. So, you know, incredibly dumb. It's got the stupidest sense of humour on the planet, but I love that even more for it. You know, it just adds to that sense of fun. So, if anyone hasn't downloaded that already, it's on Xbox Live Arcade. You need to get on it, especially if you've got a friend who's willing to sit with you and have a good laugh.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I've been playing Hitman Absolution as well. Kind of new to Hitman. I played 2 and like did it wrong. I kind of thought the idea was to shoot everyone, so I didn't really understand it. But I've gotten into Absolution knowing what to do, and I'm determined to do it properly. I've stuck it on hard mode. I've turned pathfinding off. I've turned hints off. It's literally just me in the middle, just figure it the fuck out. And I'm finding it very rewarding playing it that way. It is so much fun when you figure out that you can electrify a puddle on the floor so that when somebody pisses on it, they kill themselves. And like, you can't help but appreciate that.
And breaks every health and safety rule in workplace ever.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could like leave a gas leak in a room full of fireworks, wait for somebody to light a cigarette, and then stand behind a wall and laugh like a psychopath. It's very much my kind of game.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks for the input.
No worries.
Toby, moving down.
Hello, I'm Toby. I'm a reviewer for the site, and this week I've been playing Runner 2 on the Wii U eShop, and I also went back to a couple of my 3DS games that I haven't got around to the Paper Mario Sticker Star and Mr. Layton and Majora's Mask. I went a bit Zelda there. Miracle Mask. Runner 2 is really addictive. That's one of them games you just want to keep going. I don't really know how to describe that really. It's just a bit of you're on like a free running plane basically. You just run forward, but you get obstacles put in your way. So different things kind of get put in the way where you have to dodge, jump, duck, things like that. So that's really the fun. Miracle Mask, I didn't even get around to finishing that, so I thought I'd go back to that. I always enjoy the Layton games, so yeah, they're my top games of the week this week.
Cool. And you're all very much a resident Nintendo guy as well for all the up and coming and hot news, aren't you?
Yeah, trying to keep everyone in the old loop.
Nintendo loop. Cool. Good man. And finally, Gavin.
Hello, I'm William, not Govan. I work on the site. I do news and the occasional review. And this week, I'm playing Injustice, but I want to get through this first. Yeah. You jelly, Alan.
What is that?
It's the comic that come with it. See what he did there.
I see.
2 and 3.
Right, well, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. I'll just moving on to the topic in question and to go around the table. It's on storylines, basically. And basically, how I view it is the dynamics of gaming have completely changed now. Long gone are the days of hurtling through a level with a little blue hedgehog, going from side to side, and then getting to the end to rescue some animals, or being a fat little plumber and jumping down pipes that you probably can't fit in anyway, and rescuing princesses. Games on now not only have to have great gameplay, great graphics, great protagonists, but they also need to have great storylines. In some cases, Hollywood-esque scripts. So the question really for the table tonight is storylines, the weird, the wonderful, and the damn right warped. So really, to start off then, question one, James, starting at the beginning of the table, what for you, game or franchise, has the best engrossing storyline or plot?
One of two, really. Now, this one, it's probably leaning towards the other in the sense that this one kind of really shovels it on, is the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
Okay.
Right? Because even though it is a load of pretentious bollocks, really, and it's Hideo Kojima saying, I want to write books, it's just so engaging from the first step, because if, like many people of roughly my age, you would have started playing Metal Gear Solid before you played Metal Gear 1 and 2. Right, so a lot of the stuff they mention, you'll be a bit, alien to. Like, you're like, who the hell is this big boss guy that they're all, saying is the dog's bollocks? Right, and then it gradually goes in, and it was delivered amazingly, and admittedly it was heavily, inspired by, Bond and this, that, and the other, and they really smash you over the head aggressively with the politics, military, and theoretical military science. Like Hammer, it all just trapped me when I was younger, right? And to the point that I thought half the stuff they were talking about might have actually been true. Right? He's a good.
Quite real, didn't it? They did a good job of that.
And considering, this was very early on, we're talking PS1 here, and it managed to deliver a game that I thought had a blockbuster film feel to it in its plot stance. Admittedly, it gets a bit stupid now and again, right? And again, it gets a bit creepy, sadomasochistic from time with the hurt me more kind of thing. I absolutely love it. But the other franchise, again, it's a bit commercial, is the Mass Effect series. Because even though everyone was like, oh my god, the ending's so terrible, right? Yeah, but to be honest, an ending is an ending, whatever the hell you want. And then there's all these... some of you probably heard about indoctrination theory and stuff.
Angry Joe.
Well, just in general, I mean...
Angry Joe posted a video on it, I watched that.
Alright. I mean, but in the end, it managed to deliver in 3 games this brilliant sense of pacing of story. The first game is, you're just told halfway through about this Cthulhu-esque evil, that lurks on the edge of the galaxy, that the shit you've seen is nothing compared to what will happen. And you just get this huge, brilliant sense of dread, and the characters are built so amazingly, right, to the point that, if you hate characters that are on your team, but not because they're annoying, but just because you don't like who they are, that means they've done something right. Right? Because as far as it goes, some people in real life you hate, some people you don't hate, right? And as far as it goes, I was thinking, she's a bitch. She's racist towards aliens, right? Or I like him because he looks like a fucking raptor, right?
I was kind of like that, that Krogan guy. I always thought he was a dick, and whenever we went on a mission, he was like, "Hey, can I come, guys?" And I was like, "No, why don't you stay on the ship? Why don't you just do some admin?"
Because imagine behind the scenes, they're like, "Quick, everyone get on the ship! Don't tell him the spoiler."
Don't tell Rex. But the thing is,
hey guys,
you have to take.
I thought we were going to see something.
You gotta take Rex with you because everyone else you can imagine is doing something useful on the ship. You can't imagine not Rex doing his bonsais or something in the cargo hold or something, or doing his Sudoku or some shit.
I just imagine him hitting his head on a control panel and doing nothing else, just headbutting it constantly.
But I mean, I love the characters. I mean, I not Shepard and Garrus, but me and Garrus have a very powerful bromance going on, right? I mean, I would get his name tattooed on my ass just because, we're that close. And you'd understand if you'd been through the things we'd had.
Okay.
Right? But as I was saying, the pacing is amazing because by the second game, second game, actually, I'll give it credit. Second game wasn't that great story-wise. Right? But by the third game, you are like, shit, this is actually happening. This shit's going down. And the final 2 hours of the game just gave me shivers and goosebumps and stuff. I was like, yes, this is how the ending build-up of any game, every game should be. Even non-violent games. This is how fucking Nintendo should be. And yeah, it was brilliant. And I think it died a dignified death as well.
I mean, with the ending.
The ending was a bit shitty, but I definitely agree it was an ending. I loved everything literally up until it was even epic at the beginning of that video, of the ending video, and then it's just like, but I still love it. Right? They also, there's certain endings that have a slightly different option, which could lead to other things, But either way, as much as everyone's like, oh, EA, you're so evil. Yeah, EA evil. But give BioWare a bit of, leeway. They gave us Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I do love BioWare.
That's cool. So just those two main franchises for you because of just, I guess, the story arc of the game.
I think everything should be done in good pacing. Say with Metal Gear Solid, first one, solitary man doing his thing. Second one, hermaphrodite guy, doing his thing, building more story. Right?
Was that aimed at Raiden again?
Yes, it was. Right? Third game, it gives you this amazing story of arcing back before everything and letting you know what this is all really about, and that's where it really starts to hit home. And then the fourth game, again, that's where it starts to get a bit over the top of the nano machines and stuff. But even then, it gives it a really dignified death of a series until Rising, and then it's just awful.
It is bad, but I played it. It's fun.
It's a really fun game. It's an amazing fighting game. It's an awful story. It is literally awful.
That's true.
Did you expect anything? Did you expect Hitchcockian brilliance from Platinum Games?
I was expecting Steinbeck to roll out and.
Nice.
Platinum Games write their stories on the back of napkins. There's really no need to get emotionally invested in a Platinum game at all.
It's literally just Ryder, you asshole, and it's like, they brought out the script writers for this one.
It was really
How much did it cost to make?
Brilliant game, awful story.
Fair enough.
Even worse script, worst casting.
Okay, no, they're good. They're very good. Two examples because they are basically a story arc. They are, like you say, they're probably the game molded on story, and then everything else that comes with it is a bonus. So yeah that's good examples. Okay, William.
Yeah. Hello.
Hiya. So your examples of your favourite sort of franchise or a game that has the best storyline?
Well, I like games with a good storyline, but when it's done great, rather than a good storyline done bad. Because if you get a bad story, if you get a good storyline that's done bad, you're just not interested in the franchise. But if they do a decent storyline and they do it great, then you can relate to some of the stuff and you can enjoy the experience of going through the story or the campaign.
Yeah, that's true. But do you have any favourites that you like? Like James said, you really like Metal Gear and Mass Effect because of how engrossed he was. Do you have any names? Any games?
I'm gonna go to Nintendo for this. I really enjoy the Legend of Zelda games. Even though we can all probably agree that most of the Zelda games are just repeated the same storyline. But every time, because they're different bosses and different dungeons, it just makes the game good. But apart from the same characters, the same storyline, like from A to B is the same. It's still a good game because of how they've done the dungeons and the leveling. Well, not leveling, but like finding different keys and stuff to progress through the dungeons and get different items and
I
stuff.
suppose it's a case of don't fix what's not broken.
Well,
Well,
originally
now
Zelda was sorry.
There you go.
Well, originally Zelda was it was on the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo, and it was just like it was like big graphics. It was just like a square with like going up, down, left, right, and like shooting like rubies at people, like in just like small creatures to kill them, and like finding chests to open dungeons. So it's always been this like the same game, just different graphics and different like different A to B. Like from some of them are just like A to B, and then you get the Zelda, which is like A to B to C to D, which is like making the game longer. And then I just think they're making it better every time they make a different game.
Cool. And would you say that sounds more like the gameplay? So do you like anything about the story about it all, or
I like a story that
branches off from itself?
I like a story that the main item is like Triforce, which stands for Parries, Courage, and Wisdom. It basically describes the way the main character Link is, because there's a lot of people that play Legend of Zelda, but they think that Zelda is the main character, which is Link, which it kind of annoys me sometimes.
Those people are the worst. They're not allowed to talk.
Mhm.
Not allowed to breathe.
I mean, if a green guy's called Zelda, what's a princess called?
Princess.
Princess Link!
I'll save you,
Everyone is
Princess.
Now it's time to ride my horse, Ganondorf!
Yeah, Ganondorf.
Let me introduce you to my king. His name is King.
Or you just go through the entire game and everyone's called Zelda. Hi Zelda, how you doing, Zelda? I'm fine, Zelda. How are you, Zelda?
It's a confusing world we live in, isn't it, Zelda?
Welcome to the first dungeon. This is the boss. What's his name? Zelda.
Zelda!
So Zelda's running around, and he's going to the Zelda town to kill Zelda monsters and collect Zelda keys. And he's going to the final boss, and he's facing the final Zelda, and he's just absolutely nuking the shit out of her.
You're absolutely right. The Zelda series does have the best storyline.
And the credits are Zelda by Zelda. Zelda by Zelda.
The word Zelda, it never ends. You have to turn the console off. It just flashes the word Zelda.
It also has the best humor for games as well. Like, you kick a chicken, there's like 50 chickens run after you the rest of the game.
Yeah,
That shat me up when I played Ocarina of Time.
that was a terrifying parallel world in which chickens rule the roost.
You can
Literally.
understand them.
Yeah. It's a
Like-
good moral message. Like, wait, guys, don't twat chickens now.
Chicken.
It's like, it just progresses further. Games like you're playing Legend of Zelda and you're like, kick a chicken, 50 chickens come after you. Gears of War, you kill one locust, the whole horde comes after you.
Can I say, Legend of Zelda as a franchise has done more for animal rights than Peter has ever done with that Mario game they made, that Pokemon Black and Blue, and what was the other one they did?
Super Tofu Boy.
Super Tofu Boy. They have done more good than anyone Peter has done with those shitty, pretentious games, just by saying, I mean, fear is the best incentive. It's, you know what, I'm not going to hurt animals because hordes of them will rip me apart.
To be fair, chickens are pretty scary shit.
They are.
I wouldn't want to meet one down a dark alley. Seriously.
Good eating, though.
No.
This
the
is
moral
Chicken
of the story?
Town, boys. Tell your friends.
The moral of the story is you kick a chicken, his friends rip you.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, now Zelda's a good example. Any more, or you're quite happy with Zelda?
Well, Zelda's probably my favorite game. Like, it's the only game I like that much. I actually got a tattoo on my arm of it, you know.
Cool, that's dedication, that is.
I want a Triforce tattoo.
That's what I have.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
It's a Triforce tattoo with a Master Sword like shoved through it.
Very cool, very cool.
And like a lot of games actually I can appreciate, but I won't go into is Gears of War. The storyline, it's different every time, like, but it's always the same. Like, Carmine dies every game. You know.
Yeah, apart from the last one, which obviously they put to vote, didn't they? Which is he stayed alive. But yeah, I know what you mean. The premise stays the same, so to speak. So
I like to think that Carmine at least died one day before retirement. Even though they saved him in like the last Gears game.
They did save him in the third one, but yeah, I think you're on that one.
Horrible cholesterol from eating all that bacon.
He got munched by chickens.
He survived the horde, but he went to the supermarket and had a heart attack.
Right next to the frozen peas.
Nice. Alright, now that's a good example, man.
Not like this!
And then
That is a good example.
they
Okay,
threw him
so-
in the freezer and treated him like Walt Disney. I can't even say that word. Just generally frozen.
No. They put him in the freezer so the other cog can hide behind him for cover in a gun battle.
Well, that's...
Operation Black Shield.
if you've ever watched South Park, like whenever they do the big battle at the end, whenever they're like talking about Chef and they're like Operation Get Behind the Darky.
Yeah, it is a bit.
It doesn't take very long for our chats to break down, does it? Even with new people in.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, alright, moving down the table then.
The racist door is open!
Let's close it, please. Right.
You only got
sorry.
the racers in.
And on that note, moving on to one of our most controversial members we have.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Off the
I'm here to
slap
fuck your daughters.
Right, go on
Mine's in the
then.
basement.
Go on in, Ryan.
I'd say the best storyline for me, without a doubt, would be: has anyone played Grim Fandango on the PC?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, somebody has. Fucking thank you. Basically,
not for a good few years though.
for those who haven't, Grim Fandango, you basically play a skeletal travel agent who lives in the land of the dead, and basically his job is to transport souls from the land of the living to the land of the dead. Now, the way it works, if you led a good life, you got a ticket on the number 9, which is a train that led you straight to the underworld. If you were bad, you just got something called the Excelsior, which was a walking stick with a compass in the handle, and it was a 4-year walk to the land of the dead. I'm not making any of this up. This is an actual game that existed. In fact, I believe Toby reviewed The Cave recently. Tim Schafer, who made The Cave, was the lead designer on Grim Fandango, so you've kind of got an idea for the sort of humour you're working with. But basically, you played Manny Calavera, who was a travel agent for the land of the dead, and basically he's getting nothing but shitty clients at his job. Like, all the people he sees are real scumbags, you know, they haven't led decent lives, and he just can't get a premium client because all the people he gets are really bad. And he just uncovers a conspiracy within the Department of Death that somebody is like illegally selling or illegally harvesting all the tickets on the number 9. So he eventually steals a premium client called Meche off one of the, shall we say, less legitimate travel agents. And from there it turns into like a whole 4-year journey. It spans the whole 4-year journey through the land of the dead, with you just playing as Mali Calavera and his friend Glottis, who is a demon whose one purpose is to fix cars. And like, if just listening to that doesn't make you want to play it, you are dead inside. And it's really hard to get hold of, and it's even harder to get working on a PC these days.
Yeah.
But I implore you, track down Grim Fandango and play it in its entirety, because the storyline is superb. Just superb.
I thought they were remastering it for PC, so it's more playable.
Don't get my hopes up like that, because you know it will never happen. Especially now that Luke... Although actually, if
No,
LucasArts
LucasArts are dead. They're dead.
Yeah, maybe somebody can pick up the rights. Oh my god, if Double Fine pick up the rights, I will masturbate in public. That's
You don't already?
not after last
Try
time.
it. It's exciting stuff.
It is.
It was from the glory days of Sam and Max, though, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, I was about to say. It was the same production house, wasn't it? So it's Sam and Max,
Yeah.
Grim Fandango, Day of Tentacle. Is that another one?
Full throttle, baby.
Is it Day of Tentacle? That was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
they're
like,
the typical.
you can buy them as a pumper pack, can't you, or something?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I mean, why you can still get them and you can't get Grim Fandango, which is the best adventure game ever made, I don't know. But, yeah,
I
superb
think it's going
game.
on the Xbox, maybe. I
Yeah.
heard something about it.
No,
Well, they did
that must be a rumour.
They high-defed Monkey Island, didn't they? So
They didn't hide Oh, no, they did. You're right, because I've played it. Why am I?
yeah,
Why am I correcting you? I fucking.
I don't know why you're correcting me.
I've played it like last month. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
That's a great game.
That is a great game. I love that humour in it, where you know we got to go sword fighting with insults.
That's the largest monkey head I've ever seen.
Yeah. You're gonna end up insulting her, like, oh, I love that. I was just like,
Yeah, the insult sword fighting was just genius. Like some of the comebacks. It's like, I'm gonna milk every drop of blood from your body. How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
Brilliant, I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I guess
So Grim Fandango, very, very good choice there, Ryan. I think the whole story arc and just the general concept of the game worked on storyline alone, and then the
Yeah.
humour on top was it was icing on the cake, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's very dry, witty sort of humour as well.
Yeah.
You know, Sam and Max Monkey Island, they
Yeah.
were very like wacky, but Grim Fandango's got a kind of dark, just kind of subdued sense of humour, and it was beautiful. Such
Way
a
before
good
the
game.
days of like, a Family Guy and everything, weren't it? Really?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
terms
I
of
mean,
the
it's.
dry.
You can't call Family Guy dry.
I don't think you can call Family Guy dry, but I think that all depends on your perspective, really. But this was a much more intelligent level of humour.
I'm
As
guessing you
part.
like Broken Sword too, then?
Sorry,
I'm guessing you're a fan of Broken Sword as well?
I am.
yeah.
Yeah, Broken Sword's fantastic too. In fact, that was the first graphic adventure I played way back when I was 9. Grim Fandango was the first adventure game I played. That fucking goat.
Oh,
That goat.
no.
And Broken Sword?
Yeah, that goat puzzle. Everyone gets stuck on that.
Yeah.
Everyone gets stuck on the goat.
I got stuck in the bit where your car broke down and you had to use the toilet paper for the key.
What?
In the
I don't
first
remember
one?
that bit. In the first
This
oh,
is adventure
Let me get
games
stuck
for
at the
you.
Yeah, make yourself up as you go
How
along.
foolish! How foolish of me not to use the peanut butter on the keys to stick it to the tree so the squirrel would get them and then unlock the car.
not before you trick the cat with Dostoevsky, though.
Used to be another adventure game where like you landed and you were looking for the Bermuda Triangle, but I just got really stuck and I just gave up.
I don't remember that
The
one.
second one was awesome. Quadamante! Quadamante!
Oh, yeah.
A little Hispanic midget.
Some good examples there then, Ryan. Okay, moving down the table then, Toby. Toby?
Sorry, I muted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Your
Um,
favourite franchise or game with the storyline?
My favourite storyline franchise is well, there's a couple, but I think the first one, as James mentioned, although I only played one of them, Metal Gear Solid, it was
Which
the
one did you
remake
play?
of the GameCube, the Twin Snakes, which I think
Twin
is the
Snakes.
remake of the first one, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Remake of the first one, yeah. So that was the only one I ever played, but I remember playing it when I was younger, and the story, while I was playing, I remember feeling really engrossed, I wanted to know what happened, and that was one of my first kind of major storyline things. I remember being engrossed in that game. But probably my favourite more recently would be the Speculation series. The stories in that, I mean, I guess it comes with the genre because it's kind of tap and find and point and click, that kind of thing. So yeah, all the Special Alien games, they always leave you guessing. The characters in there, the character design is really good because each one's different and no two characters look the same. They've got really over the top features, and I'd say I don't know in terms of storyline, the first one is probably my favourite just for the fact that it's the first one, and then the third one went it dipped a bit in the middle. Number 2, Pandora's Box story was, I don't know where they got the story from, but it involved a lot of myth and a lot of it wasn't very engaging. It wasn't as engaging as the other one, the others in the series. But yeah, the first one, the third one, and then the newest one as well. That one's really good. And obviously they've gone, well not obviously, but they've gone into a prequel now. So the 6th one's due out later this year. So I'm looking forward to that one.
And what do you mostly enjoy about those then?
Just the characters and the story. I just like finding out what's going to happen. Because they're split into chapters, so it's literally like reading a little book. And then you've got
Yeah, I think
something
that- yeah.
between.
That's the way
And
it's
then
presented, isn't it? It's like a little.
Yeah, it's like each chapter brings new, and you get these little mysteries, and then you've got your little side missions, and like there's so much to do as well. And but the story is the main, like the arc of it. That's the only. I don't play the game for the puzzles. I play the game for the story, like hands down. And yeah, it's just a really good. All of the stories are really good. I can't really explain it very well apart from they're really good.
No, that's fine. I
Very
mean, like I said, the whole
engrossing.
topic of this is what we enjoy the most. So.
I was going to say as well, I was going to reiterate the Zelda franchise as well. That's got to be another top one for me as well. The fact they've managed to spawn a book celebrating its 25-year history just on its storyline, I think it's a big, well done, round of applause for them. Because I don't think many games can have a storyline that stretches 25 years, but
That's what I was about to say.
they will not stay the same, but it is the same storyline, but they've recycled it and evolved it to keep adapting. Like it's so there's so many different arcs as well. Like when you read the Hyrule Historia, big old piece there, it branches into three. Like it actually makes sense. Because the timeline is really confusing, but the whole story it branches off into three different areas, and once you kind of read it, it does kind of click into sense. And yeah, the fact they've managed to span it 25 years, kind of doing the same thing but rehashing it slightly, I think that's a really good testament to the creators and the story that they
It is quite impressive, isn't it?
developers. Yeah. So they're my top tier, I'd say. I was going to mention Broken Sword as well, but that's what you mentioned. I was going to say that's another one, but I didn't play that when I played that on the Wii, the remake. So that was really cool as well. I enjoyed that story. That was pretty much like reading the stories as well. The look and the cartoony visuals, it was really fun.
Yeah. Well, there's some good examples. I mean, thinking about it as well, is there much more? Really, we could say Zelda's probably the longest timeline, 25 years, and they've not actually rebooted it, have they yet?
No.
Nobody even knows what the timeline is. Not even Shigeru Miyamoto knows what the
Yeah,
timeline
there
is.
is.
I've got some
There's
But in terms
theories.
of the length, what I mean in terms of the length, the popularity, and how it's there isn't many others that have lasted this long, surely.
You could say they've
reckon-
rebooted. You could pretty much say that Twilight Princess was a reboot of Ocarina, essentially.
Right.
Not
Okay.
really, because they've all
I mean-
changed.
Because every you could say every game's a reboot. I mean, it's Link's getting up to some shit, Ganon's being a dick, save Princess Zelda. Every game is a reboot.
Zelda's being a dick. Save Princess Zelda. You are Zelda, the Legend of Zelda. Go and save the Kingdom of Zelda. You've got all your names wrong again, James.
It's still though, I think it deserves a bit of a round of applause in the fact that 25 years is pretty quite impressive in terms of how fickle the gaming industry can be at times.
And there's
Gotta give it.
hardcore stories.
You should give it its
design
due,
experts
I
out
think.
there as well.
Oh, and the next game is gonna suck.
Which next game? The next Zelda game?
Yeah.
What, the handheld? You mean the Link to the Past?
Whoa.
So they're
James,
all
get
Hello?
out.
No, because
Yeah,
they are
please.
just banging on about how
I'm
they
gonna-
want to basically do Skyward Sword again. It's like, no, Skyward Sword was the weakest.
Get out.
No. I do not agree. I disagree.
Skyward Sword is my
We may do a
favourite one.
topic just on Zelda one day. Let's move on. Okay, William,
I have a few.
go on.
One of
then.
my favourites is Knights of the Old Republic 1. I
All
loved
right,
that
okay.
story when I was younger. with
Actually,
the whole
yeah.
Malak and Revan kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then when you find out the ending, I'm not going to spoil it because people can still go back and play that now.
You were the
That was
monster
really-
all along.
What?
That was me spoiling the ending, but nobody heard it, so that's fine.
And the new Tomb Raider. I love the new Tomb Raider story.
I love the new Lara. And I mean, the story wasn't the story wasn't mind blowing, but what they did with Lara as a character, yeah, absolutely great character.
The
in
whole
that
character development, yeah.
game. Yeah,
I love that. Assassin's Creed 1 was pretty good. I liked that.
That would be my
Except-
pick.
After that, it kind of
Yeah.
got
Falls
a little
apart.
over the top. And one that I'm really getting into now is the Injustice game. I really like that story, especially how it starts. I won't spoil that because it's a really big start for. You wouldn't expect it, and if the comics are as good as the game, I'm very happy, very happy.
So does this mean there is a new production line of these comics then?
they've started. This is part 1, and there's like another 2. I'm not sure if they're going to just put in like the one series and put a graphic novel. Not sure yet.
So depending on the popularity is how they'll.
Well, it's sold out. Pretty much everywhere.
That is true.
So they're saying if they make a second, it won't be the same story. It'll be something kind of different, like because apparently they ended quite well, but they're going to do it so something else happens and they have to go and do something else again. I'm not sure, but it'll be pretty cool. Hopefully, it's Batman becomes the bad guy this time.
Okay, cool. That sounds good then. Yeah, no, they're 3 very good examples. You touched on Assassin's Creed. What is it you'd enjoyed the most there then? Because that's pretty a branching storyline now, considering.
I preferred the first because you're playing as Altair, who was a silent assassin, whereas in every other game, Ezio's yapping on and on and on. It's just shut up and do your job, assassinate someone. And in the third one, Connor, he yapped on and on and on and never assassinated anybody the whole bloody game. I just really liked Altair because he shut up.
Yeah.
I still hate Desmond. I hate that guy with a passion.
What do you think about this whole? You thought it was going to be set in one timeline, and then wait, hang on, it's actually to do with it's now in the future.
You're playing as all his relatives.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I didn't mind Ezio, but he did yab on. I thought that 2 and Brotherhood were pretty good.
Yeah.
But 3 and Revelations didn't catch my interest too much, and I just about got through 3, and I never even finished Revelations because it was never that interesting for me. I got bored so easily.
Yeah, it's gone a little convoluted, and I think that's the problem. I mean, you're all gonna hate me. I didn't love BioShock Infinite.
Ooh.
Really?
I didn't. No.
Wait. Neither did I, and I completed it, and I still don't love it.
Thank you.
I didn't say love it. I didn't say love it, but
for me personally, it was the ending. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but just for something to be convoluted doesn't make it great. And this is what pisses me off a lot with Hollywood. It's just like, we're going to have I wouldn't say it's a cop-out ending, but it was just like, oh, right, I see what you did there.
No, wow,
you're so smart.
I liked the ending of BioShock Infinite. I did enjoy the storyline. The storyline's pretty much all that kept me going. The problem with it was the gameplay was quite pants, I thought. I did not like the gameplay in BioShock Infinite.
It was basically still BioShock 1. And
No, it wasn't though. That's the thing. Like BioShock 1.
It was trying to be BioShock 1.
It wasn't even trying. It was a shoot 'em up. It had pretensions to BioShock 1 by giving you vigors, but they did fuck all. It may as well just been you may as well just been dual wielding.
Well,
and
Murder of Crows was good.
That was it though. That Murder of Crows was all I used. Seriously, Murder of Crows, fireball, wipe out a room, rinse, repeat. Convoluted ending. I see. End
you
of
said
game.
it yourself. Just because something's a convoluted ending doesn't make it great. And Hollywood,
Yeah, but it was a good. The thing is, it
It was a good ending.
It was a good ending.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The very start of Injustice was kind of like,
get out. That was me personally. That was.
I give Infinite like a 7 out of 10. But all the other Bioshocks, 9 going on 10. Bioshock Infinite, I give a 7. I was not impressed with that game at all.
I wasn't impressed with 2 either. I think Bioshock 1's the only one really,
Two's my favourite one.
Really?
2, right, we'll explain why another day. We'll explain why later, but 2 is my favourite Bioshock.
Right, okay.
See, I loved BioShock Infinite's story, and the simple fact it managed to slap me in the face. Well, the thing is, I saw it coming because you have
fuck to... off! Nobody saw that coming.
No, you did in a way, right? Because if you watch the pre-demo things, you could see why they. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to give anything too much away. I'll mention this later.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. So carrying on then, we'll go back. Yeah. Sorry, what were you doing?
Injustice. The one problem with Injustice was the fact that they outright said it was an alternate universe.
Right.
And I thought it wasn't. I thought it was like in the same universe with all the normal heroes, and it just goes, nope, a completely different universe. It's like, you dicks. I've looked forward to it a little less more because of that.
But it hasn't really tainted your experience. You're still enjoying it.
No, it's still great, but it's just when they went alternate universe, it's like.
That does seem to be a cop out. If they're like, oh shit, we're not sure how this will sell, let's sell it as that.
Yeah,
and then they've got no responsibility then, have they?
because they know for a game like this they have to kill off some big guys, and it's like we can't afford that.
No.
We'll get some angry fans.
We
like,
would have some angry fans.
Why did you kill him off? He's my favorite. And it's like, sorry.
Didn't mean to. Right, okay. So we'll start with you again then. Your worst storyline.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, worst? Wow. Come back to me. I'll think about that one. There's quite a few.
Something you've played and gone,
Duke Nukem.
Okay, go on then. Why?
That thing was a pile of balls. Oh, aliens have captured our women. Let Duke Nukem go save them. Do you want power armor? No, they're for
That's
women.
the only plot that should ever be.
I've got to say, you kind of have to admire the simplicity of that. I don't think Duke Nukem pretended to be anything other than that. That's why people enjoyed it.
It was, they've stolen our babes.
Apparently
No,
not everyone.
those aren't your babes, aliens. Those are our babes. Give us our babes back.
And I'm going to swear a lot. Game of the Year, 1995.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, alright, so Duke Nukem, do you want to clarify some more?
Oh,
Does he need to?
Duke Nukem does hit it, really. Trying to think of what terrible games I own. I think I got rid of them all. That's the problem. Medal of Honor Tier 1 was pretty pants, even though the set Warfighter was a good story but terrible gameplay. I didn't get into Tier 1 at all.
Tier 1 then?
I just didn't find anything interesting. It was just a typical on-rail shooter. It's like, go here, shoot this. Yeah, you've completed this level. Go to the next one. And that was basically the whole way through until you complete the game. There was a couple times I died, and I was like, well, that's a bit annoying, but it didn't affect me.
Cool. Yeah. Alright, so Duke Nukem and Medal of Honor. Fair enough then. Cool. Toby? The worst storyline arc or storyline franchise you played? Like William, one that's basically like Duke Nukem's made you gone, you were speechless.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a think. In terms of storyline, I can't think of one that's actually been that bad, that angered me that much.
Is there any that you've not liked and other people have? Like you think to yourself, I just don't get that?
I don't think so, no. It sounds odd, I know, but I don't think there's been many. There's been weird, like, old ones, but not like ones that I've hated or. I don't really like generic storylines that are a bit like what Will was saying with the go here, shoot this, do that, on rails type one. The Resident Evil ones for the Wii, they're a bit pants actually. Dark Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles. Said that in the wrong order.
But not Resident Evil as a whole.
No, not Resident Evil as a whole. Although now, yes. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they were a bit off. You had to pick up loads of stuff, and the storyline was very jumped a lot. So it was really confusing.
I've got to say though,
game.
Resident Evil, you can have a fun game with Resident Evil 5. It's basically every time one of the main characters does something butt fuck retarded, you take a shot. And like me and my friend co-opted Resident Evil 5, and the amount of time we were just screaming at the screen, just fucking shoot him! It's like, you know, they're exchanging pleasantries with one another, and it's like, you have a fucking rocket launcher. I put it in your inventory. Shoot the fuck out of them! And they just never did. So, it's good for that, the Resident Evil storyline at least.
Okay, well we'll carry on with you then. So you got any worse or, you know, really downright horrible storylines?
Not me.
Yeah.
Well, two examples. The first one's kind of obvious. I had Unreal Tournament 3 on my 360, and Epic Games kind of went, well, this is an online-only experience. How do we squeeze a storyline out of this? And the storyline is basically aliens attacking, you be shooting them. Now, you might be wondering, if the aliens can infinitely respawn, how does this have any sort of canonical sense? Don't worry, Epic thought of that. Basically, they are allowed to bring people back to life with alien technology, but only a certain amount of times. And that's how Unreal Tournament 3 works. And you're going through it going, if you kill about 30 of them, like, 2 times, that'll probably make them run out of power. And I'm holding the pad and I'm shouting at the screen, fuck you, Unreal Tournament! You think I'm a prick!
Basically, the final boss is actually EDF power. But that's the real.
No. He's the Eon. You know that little orange squirt thing that's on the advert.
It might as well have been for all the personality the characters in that game had as well. It's like, you there, soldier? Yes, no, not soldier. Grunt, sorry, grunt. Yeah, no, sorry, not grunt. Scout. Yeah, and it's like everyone's just an interchangeable Mr. Potato Head with a metal suit on. The other, another less obvious example of a bad storyline is practically every Japanese RPG ever made. It goes as follows: you there, young man, sleeping, get up. Today is an important day. You're like, okay. Take your best friend, who is a girl, to the fair. Hello, I'm the girl. I might or might not have magical powers, but I'm not going to tell you until it's really, really important and an evil, malevolent force threatens to take over the land. Okay, then, let's go to the fair. Oh no, what's this? The fair is in turmoil. I am an evil, malevolent force threatening to take over the land. You there with the spiky hair must collect 4 crystals of different colours hidden in 4 dungeons around the map, one of which will be a fire dungeon, one of which will be a lava dungeon, one of which will be a water dungeon, and one of which will have another theme, I don't know, maybe child molestation. Go forth! Save the kingdom! And I'm done.
Lucrezia!
And yeah, that's every Japanese RPG I've played is like that, and yeah.
Oh wow!
Enough.
You there, you're asleep. Time to wake up.
There was one game. There's one JRPG I like, and I was trying to sort of think of an argument against it, but you literally got every single part right.
Is that Chrono Trigger by any chance?
No, it's not. It was Golden Sun.
Yes, I've played Golden Sun, and it was exactly the same.
I love that game, and I was trying to think of a way to defend it, and I was like, oh, fuck, he's got me.
Oh, Ryan, that was amazing.
My work here is done.
Your work here is fucking done. Brilliant. Oh, the jaw hurts. Okay, right, William?
I don't know how I can follow that, but I can try.
You don't have to. As long as you're having fun, mate. That's the main thing.
Well, there's been a few games that just don't make sense. Like, for example, on PlayStation 1, Digimon World, they were like, yeah, here's a Digimon. go fight other Digimon.
He said something about your mum. Go get him.
I don't matter what you do in the game. The Digimon will automatically evolve at a certain time.
They do.
That's it, whenever they give a shit to. Whenever they feel like it.
I'm saying it's the worst storyline I've ever played, but I'm also saying it's one of the best games I've ever played at the same time.
Sometimes it's hard to get that balance, though, which I suppose we're going to come to in the next question. But sometimes, balancing story and game perfectly is very difficult to do.
When you think about it, Pokemon, Pokemon is really cathartic, right? But then when you think about it, all it is the beginning is I am going to be the greatest dog fighter ever to roam the
earth. It is true.
The basic storyline on Digimon World was like choose one of 4 companions. All it looked like was like a different circle with different colors and different bits of tassels on them. And like after maybe about 3-4 hours of playing the game, it finally evolves into a slug or like.
And you're just like, this is all I get.
And you're like, right, slug evolve again. You might turn into something great. Then it turns into a wheelie bin. And you're running through the game and you're battling all these creatures, trying to rescue all the Digimon. And I'm not even my final form yet. and as soon as it
Dragon Ball
evolves
Z
again,
drop.
as soon as it evolves again, it turns into a garbage truck. And it's just like, yeah, put this game inside me. It is shit. But yeah, the actual the
That is
gameplay
the weirdest description of a PlayStation I've ever heard. Put this game inside me, it's shit.
But I only say it, Lou. The actual gameplay was good. The storyline just didn't make sense.
It was a good game.
I don't even think it had a storyline, to be honest. I just think it was like, right, here's a Digimon, go fucking nuts.
Just cause.
Nice. That's a good example. Very, very. I loved the acting out of it as well. To be fair. So any more, or just your hatred for Digimon?
Well, there's a lot of stories that don't have well, you couldn't really say they're worse storylines because they don't have storylines, but that's what makes them a great game. Which is like World of Warcraft. It has like a 5% story, the rest gameplay, which makes the game amazing.
Yeah.
And you got League of Legends, which is every single character has a different story, but there's no actual story to why they're all fighting and killing each other.
Yeah.
Because
Because somebody stole my Easter egg.
Because I don't know, it's like I don't know who wants to choose what channel. Because they want to decide who gets to watch what channel later on, and because one wants to watch Game of Thrones, one wants to watch Mad Men, one of them wants to watch Strictly Come, and they just got to think of a way to decide.
I think Strictly Come is a DVD that my mum starred in.
Yeah, I was about to say, finish the sentence off, dude. You're going to confuse the viewers.
Oh no, sorry, it was called Strictly Come Guzzling. My mistake.
Oh.
Wait, your mum's Strictly?
Strictly. How do you guzzle cum strictly? You there! Fetch the glass! We can edit that.
Yeah, I think we better. Your mum does
game
watch
itself.
the show, right?
No, my mum doesn't watch, but I don't think she'd take kindly to me making, even if it was hilarious, I don't think she'd take kindly to me making a porn joke at her expense.
No, yeah, we'll leave that off.
I love you, mum. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I meant my fictional mum for that joke.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Let's give me you then, James.
Well, again, I'm going to go for a two. I mean, there's lots of easy things I could say. I mean, I couldn't say, Beautiful Katamari has an exactly, ball-busting story there. But now, what I'm going to say is Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Yay!
Because it was a pile of shit. But because it was the first pile of shit that, actually came onto our shores with an actual set of videos that we were like, yeah! And it's just, why is it cool to hate Final Fantasy now, but not, back then?
Because, James, Eris died, and that's very, very sad.
It was
why.
pretty good
Gotcha.
in terms of how engrossing it did seem to populate the world to that one entity. So that, I think, in a way, is why it's as popular as. I'm with you. Final Fantasy VII isn't my favourite. So
I mean, it's essentially because it was the first one that really, hit it first. But then it took another, 50 games later, people are going, wait a minute, actually, it's a load of shit. I see what you did there.
can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
In Final Fantasy, an interesting fact is, in America, Final Fantasies came out and stuff, but in Japan, the Final Fantasy, maybe Final Fantasy VII, when it came out in America, was Final Fantasy IX because of the different, some of the games weren't released in America.
What? No!
No. Final Fantasy
don't
IV.
drop that on me.
Final Fantasy IV in Japan was Final Fantasy II in America because a number of the Final Fantasies weren't released in America that were released in Japan.
No! Shut up!
Exactly.
Stop this!
No, why?
I'm done with this shit. I'm not here to think.
So the new games now, the new Final Fantasy now, Final Fantasy 13 might be Final Fantasy 15 in Japan.
No, that's not true because we've since caught up with them, so it is actually the 13th one, especially because 2 and 3 have been re-released over here.
Yeah.
So 13 is still 13. It just took Europe a little while to play catch up for their
So-
shitty little
The
RPGs.
So
number
every nation has
system, yeah.
equally wasted
The
the time.
number system's pretty screwed up, so yeah, that's true. We are
Especially
actually
when you go into like Final Fantasy 13-2. It's like, not only is that 2 with the name 13 in, but it's not final! You've had 14 of these fucking things!
What about
You
10
do
to?
know the whole thing
10?
about why it's called Final Fantasy, don't you?
Yes, I know about that, because it was the developer's like last game before he thought he was going to have to shut the studio, but then it
But
became
you
a
are
massive-
right, when it has Final Fantasy, a number, and then a dash, and then a number.
It's like never-ending story. That's a load of bullshit.
Spoilers!
It's only called Final Fantasy because when they come to the end, they have a huge orgy.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
I mean, it is just a load of balls, really. But
Yes.
now, my other game I go for is Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I really wanted to like it. I actually really loved the story of the previous some Resident Evil games, and then suddenly it just becomes a massive orgy of wow, this is just like Raccoon City, right? And you know, I went through that. I went through Leon's mission, and I was sorry, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll ignore the laws of mass and physics on how that tiny man turned into a giant fly.
Yeah.
Right? I'll ignore that, yeah, because it's Resident Evil, shit's crazy. Right? And then, basically, after you complete the 3 main stories, you unlock the third one, Ada story. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it anyway, because it's a drop-in co-op game, so it's not exactly going to be a secret. It is the true ending, the reason for all these events, the millions of people who is dead.
Oh,
is,
I can't wait, because I haven't
right?
got this far yet.
Oh, okay. I'm
No,
gonna say,
go on. I don't give a shit, so you may as well go ahead.
right. The reason for all these deaths, all this drama, all of this beautiful looking at the camera, is because a rich guy wanted an Ada Wong fuck puppet.
What?
That is literally. I'm not even
brilliant.
joking. That is literally it.
Why
Is
did
it
I
not?
buy this game?
It's
Why
a
did
guy.
I buy it? Why am I still playing it? You just told me the best part.
Why haven't you got to land?
It is basically what every nerd wants the future to be like. Is there was a girl who fancies him, but he thought she was a bit of a dog, so he made her look like Ada Wong, and she didn't take to this too kindly because apparently he didn't tell her about this bit, and then she decided to destroy the world.
Yep.
And that's it. He just wanted to fuck Ada Wong, and she basically rejected him. So he's like, "Fine, I'm gonna find a girl who will fuck me, and then she's gonna look like you."
Friend zoned.
What I find weird.
Friend zoned.
What I find weird is how many games they have now, and they're still surprised whenever there's a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Everyone's still like, "It's Wesker." It's like, "Oh, of course it's Wesker."
How many times are we going to have to drop a statue on a door to open it before somebody goes, does this not feel very fucking convoluted?
Now, one thing I adore about the ending of Resident Evil 5,
Yeah.
right, is the rocket hitting his head, right?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
watch this in slow motion, Wesker's head sucks into his body to dodge the missile
That's brilliant.
like some kind of
Why have you
slug.
watched it in slow motion?
No, it was on YouTube. I was just watching it,
I wanna
and
watch it.
it shows it frame for frame, and his head literally just goes before the rocket hits, just goes, and I was like, "What?"
Brilliant.
That's excellent.
So he might still come back.
Oh, he
May still
will.
come back, yeah.
But Chris, didn't you watch the ending of Resident Evil 5 in slow motion? I'm not really dead. And I've brought my old fuck puppet Ada Wong with me.
Nice. Very creepy yet good impression.
Although until they decide to change his voice actor again,
That's good.
Hello,
and then
Have you seen the
all right, I'll
Have you-
Wesker here. Off to lab now.
amazing?
Ada Wong.
He changed his character to Darth Vader, and you don't even know what he's saying. He's just like, "Rrr, rrr, I'm getting heavy breathing because I want to fuck Ada."
Well, if lava's involved, it could be. The big revelation is Wesker is Darth Vader.
There you go.
And he's made of lava.
And he's only wearing a helmet.
And
Actually-
he's a horse.
He's a chicken in a man suit.
Wait a minute.
He's lots of chickens in a man suit.
He's lots of chickens in a man suit.
Ultimate Wesker impression coming here. There we go. Opening Resident Evil 1. The best opening of any game ever to exist.
For everything it's worth, I do love them. I do like Resident Evil.
No! Don't go!
I hope this is not Chris's blood.
Oh, it's so bad.
Well, my favourite is...
Alright, okay.
But porn actresses need work too.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so kind of moving off and kind of wrapping it up then. We'll end on the last question to kind of go around the table. So kind of open vote, so anybody really wants to chime in, spend about 5 minutes on it. And then we'll kind of close the show. So yeah, the question really is, does a storyline equal a great game, or does it simply enhance the gaming experience?
Right,
What do you think?
right. I want to get on this. I have heard...
You get on it then.
Right, I've heard people like defend like the worst possible games because the storyline's good, and it's like if you will play through a shit game so you can watch cutscenes and tell me that the story is good, get the fuck off my planet, because like. Okay, it's very rare that a game will mix gameplay and storyline perfectly. Half-Life 2 is a very good example. Walking Dead is a very good example. But a lot of the time, it's done by cutscenes, which, although we shouldn't like completely get rid of, they're fucking lazy. And if you want to watch a film, watch a film. The amount of people that will suffer through shit that doesn't even do gaming storylines properly, just replaces the experience with cutscenes, and then says, "Oh yeah, the game wasn't great, the controls were pants, and it glitched out every 3 minutes, but what a storyline." It's like, no, I'm sorry, as a developer and as a storyteller, you failed on both. You failed there. If you wanted to make a good story, and even if you did, make it a film. Don't attach it to a crap game, because it just feels like busy work to get to the next storyline.
I think that's the developer's responsibility then, to become a storyteller.
I don't think it is. No, I mean, sometimes developers will come out there and they will say the aim with this game is to create, is to make a brilliant story. And it's like, yes, brilliant. Games as a storytelling device are sound. They're very, very good. Very few developers can get it right, though. Like I say, Half-Life 2 is a good example. The recent Walking Dead games were a good example. Because they incorporated every event, everything that happened in the story into the way that the game world works, or into the way that the game plays. 9 times out of 10, a developer will do what I think is the wrong thing and cut the action short to stick a cutscene in there. Alan Wake, I enjoyed the storyline, but I don't think it was done well as a game, because you'd be playing and then every few minutes you'd stop and have to watch Alan Wake be a douchebag, and it was such a disconnect that I kind of thought, good story, you haven't done it properly. Yeah, that's just how I look at that.
I miss Alan Wake. That was a good game.
I love Alan Wake. I still enjoy it, but not as a story, more as a game.
It's literally just, fighting a horde of weird Stephen King style shadowy monsters, and then you're like, yeah, this getting better, Run for the hills, and let's go. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, do you not think, and maybe money and profit comes into it, it's no longer so much a storyline, but a universe they're building?
Yeah.
So, your Mass Effect is now a universe. Your Halo is a universe.
And that is where, like, much as neither of us were impressed with BioShock Infinite, they made a damn good universe, and they did tie the story into the game. They did make that coherent. And although I wasn't blown away by the game itself, I think the way that the game and the story wrapped together, knocked heads, and bounced off one another was one of the great triumphs of BioShock Infinite. It did feel just very underdeveloped in a number of other areas to me. For example, even the storyline had holes in it. Number one, right? If, like at the beginning of the game, Vigors are available to anyone and they're giving them out in free samples, why isn't Columbia in fucking chaos? Like, if anyone could, pick up a drink and, teleport people or make them think certain things or summon a flock of ravens to peck at their flesh, how is that whole city not in the shitter?
Because they're all religious nutcases.
Yeah, all the more reason the place should have been in the shitter long ago. And like, as well, this place is soaring miles and miles and miles in the sky, chest-high railings. If a child leant over to spit over that, he'd be dead. It would only take a cheeky little Boy Scout to run behind him with a stick, prod him up the bum, and that kid is jam. That kid hits the ground, there ain't going to be a trace of him left.
Survival of the fittest,
You know, when you're a kid and you kind of push someone in the rope, you grab him, you're like, now you're dead. That would work.
And then it
Like,
comes
now
up with it.
Fuck, now you really are dead. Now you really are dead.
It's the playground game of choice in Bioshock Infinite, is saved your life, you nearly actually died.
Yeah.
You just got a child there, like, looking really shocked, holding a jacket in his hands. Like that.
What have I done?
But what if the Clock Tower games, like, it was like the bad guy's chasing you, let's hide in the cupboard. Like, if it's a bad guy, yeah, he's gonna go, let's walk past this cupboard, they're not gonna be in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are games that do that. There are times when you're against an enemy that 1 minute is really formidable. The next minute, if you hide in a slightly darker corner, they can't see you. And again, that can ruin the experience slightly for you. And to be honest, like, I fully respect games as a storytelling medium, but they really have a long way to go before they properly incorporate gameplay and make that feel like part of the story rather than an addition to the story, if you like.
It's like if you watch a movie and like they're running away from a bad guy and they hide, they run down an alley and hide behind the doorway or something just to get away from the enemy. It actually looks like they're escaping the enemy and the enemy has no idea where they are. But if you're like in games, you're like running past a closet and the guy's like, he sees you running in the closet and he walks past and he's like, oh, you must have been in there. Let's run away.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he must no longer be here at the end of this corridor with only a cupboard at the end of it.
Our enemies are all pigeons. Out of sight, out of mind.
Let's go peck at some crumbs.
The lights broke. The lights broke, let's hide in the corner. Oh my god, he's gone invisible. Where the fuck is he?
Or even better, the light's broken, let's stare at it for a while, say it must be somebody playing around and continue our patrol route.
Yeah. Whose footprints are these?
The best thing to do with that, run around a box 3 times and then get them to do the whose footprints are these things. They will literally circle the box like 3 times.
It actually reminds me of, do you ever remember that game on PlayStation 2? I think it was called Wolf, where you let on to be a wolf and you used to hide in bushes to kill sheep.
Oh, Sheepdog and Wolf?
Yeah.
That game was brilliant. That was such a good game.
But it was just like, there's a walking bush. Oh my god, it must not be a wolf, it must be a friendly nurturer. Having
said that, it was based on a Warner Brothers cartoon. You can't really pick holes in the logic of that.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, and Sam the Sheepdog. Yeah. That was a fantastic game.
Okay, it was so fun.
That's cool. Just want to get back on top of it then, because obviously I just want Toby and William to kind of see if they got anything to chip in, and then we'll kind of close up. Toby?
Well, I'll just fuck off then.
You've been harping in as well.
You had your chance.
You've been harping in as well. Okay, so Toby, William, storylines. Does it equal a great game or just enhance the experience?
Yeah, I agree with what
Ryan?
you were saying previously, Ryan, yeah. It has to balance, because I'm all for storyline. I love a good story, and I enjoy watching. I'm actually a bit of a weirdo. I enjoy watching cutscenes, even if they're like a million years long, like in a Metal Gear Solid game or something. Like 5 hours later, it's just sat there. I quite like it, but it does depend on like what you're playing and like if it all fits in. If you've just got a randomly tacked on piece of story just plonked in the game, and it does. It's got to have the right balance. Because I remember actually when I was playing, I mentioned this before, Metroid Other End, they did with the cutscenes, they all kind of merged. So after you complete the game, you could watch the game as a film, which it did work because the cutscenes were like over an hour, like in total. So you could literally just sit there and watch it as a film. But if you just watched it as a film, that's fine because you just kind of detach yourself from the Metroid world. But obviously, with the story of it. I think
Oh,
that went a
Team
bit
Ninja.
haywire.
I've actually just ordered Other M, and
Have you?
just because I have to play every Metroid game because I love Metroid, I'm fully prepared to hate every fucking minute of it. I've
No,
said
'cause
nothing but bad things.
Right.
I thought the gameplay was really good. In that. Like, I love like explore. It's like a side scrolling with a bit of action and
That's what
a bit of
attracts me to
action,
it.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
side scroller, but 3D at the same time. It's very odd, but the story was where it kind of let itself down. But then
Yeah.
I was watching the story. I didn't actually mind it. I was one of the few that didn't mind the story.
Remember how Samus is like a really powerful, strong female character, like one of the
It was
first,
a bit monotone.
right? But
I'll go
prepare
with
to say fuck you to that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what I say is get ready for 8 hours of a crying bitch.
She was really
Yeah, so
monotone.
I've
Like her narration should have been a bit better. Cause she was just like, and
then the
through the
baby
door,
came and saved me.
and, yeah.
I love you, Padme.
Please marry me.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. Just kind of wrap up now. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming on tonight, all the fans, all the staff and everything like that. We've had quite a good night. If, like I say, if you're a fan or any staff members really want to join in, just hit us up at TheGamingRigUK@gmail.com or come along to the site at www.TheGamingRig.co.uk and check us out. Anything to end on, guys?
Love changes everything.
There you go then. All right then, guys. Cheers, everybody. Take care.
everyone.
Peace out.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.